Fridays with the Founder. I'm Brian Cassidy, Marketing Specialist here at Adapt, and I am once again joined by our Adapt founder, Brian Cassidy.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Dad. Now, I know you just got done talking for 2 hours to the interns. You see them around. Don't forget to say hi. So, your brain's all over the place, but we do got to get these guys out. So, they expect it at this point.
Just be ready for some colorful language.
Well, last week we talked about range of motion, and it definitely helped kind of bring everything together a little bit with going back to talk about the factors, because there was a lot of information there.
Right.
Obviously, the next progression is
Number 2.
Strength. So, what do you mean by strength? And like strength training, it's such a popular thing right now. Everyone gets strong. They want the muscles. They're lifting weights. They're doing all the things. But what does it mean to you?
Well, that's a loaded question. But strength training, I hate when I hear it's like, oh, research just came out that if you lift weights when you're 60, it promotes, bone density. Or if you do people want to put strength training into so many different categories. Mm-hmm. And whether it's good or bad, should I lift weights? It doesn't matter. We should take that whole term away, lifting weights. Mm-hmm. Resistance training. Are you applying resistance to your muscles? If you're applying resistance to your muscles when it takes the muscle to failure where it can no longer do it, the fibers will tear down and get stronger. So it's critical that we push our muscles to be able to do that. It's how our bodies know that it's still alive. It's one of the most fundamental aspects of staying young, and all these supplements that people are taking to try to promote health and well-being and getting younger. You need to apply resistance to your muscles. The problem is there's so many different kinds of techniques out there to lift weights, to cable machines, to circuits in gyms, that it's kind of like how protein in the nutrition world. There's more bad versions of protein than any other. So people's like, oh, let's go plant-based.
Yeah. Because
there's so many processed versions of protein. You can eat all the deli meats that are out there, all the nitrates. It's horrible. Strength training is the same way. If you strength train incorrectly, and I mean by building muscles in the wrong balance with each other, mm-hmm. you will do more to mess up and create imbalances in your mechanics, like throwing your joints off, putting more pressure on your elbows, your neck, your knees, your hips, because strength training the wrong way is worse than not strength training at all. So resistance training is critical. That's why the old body weight stuff that people talk about, push-ups and pull-ups and sit-ups, are so amazing for you. But the bodybuilding way of approaching, I'm going to do my back and my buys. I'm going to break muscle groups into days of the week. Mm-hmm. Don't understand how the muscles work together. So at Adapt, we have a very specific way and rules that we have to follow. So it doesn't matter if you're doing Olympic lifting. It doesn't matter if you're just doing body weight based. There's ways that I think Pilates builds strength the wrong way. There's ways that it builds the right way. I don't need a whole bunch of hate letters from Pilates lovers. But it's really understanding, do all my muscles and the opposing muscle groups, it's like the world right now. Can't we just all get along? Can all those muscles learn how to perform activity together? So the maximum output, if I go to strain, mm-hmm. can a single muscle work with the opposing muscle the right way to keep the joint in the right place? Because if muscles pull a little harder, it's going to change the alignment of the joint, and it's going to create friction. So now you have tendonitis, bursitis, arthritis. Yeah. Itis is Latin for pissed off. It means inflammation. Yeah. And if you strength train the wrong way, and I hate when people work hard and get worse. Mm-hmm. So understanding how to strength train, and that's where one of the things that I say, come into Adapt, get an evaluation, and have someone design your strength training program for you. Even if it's at a gym, you can still tell them what exercise you like, mm-hmm. but do it in the right order and do it in the right configuration to maximize the balance of how your strength works. And then it'll work for you and not against you.
Well, speaking of at Adapt, one of the questions we get a lot, and this is honestly...
questions or criticism?
Yeah, exactly. This is more for me, so I know how to answer this, or I can just say, hey, go watch this video, so I don't have to answer. But one of the things that we get asked a lot is our strength classes have kind of changed to now where they're the same class all week. You do it multiple times in a week, whereas before it was kind of all over the plate, like different things every time. Why is that? Why did we make that change?
So Pat, I'm talking to you. Now you can see my face when I'm saying it to you this time. And if he's watching, he'll know it's an inside joke. To build legitimate strength, and the difference between some of our older classes is those classes were still beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
They were still good for you. They're chicken soup for your body in terms of your body's moving, but they didn't necessarily add strength. They didn't add the upper end output force of a muscle.
Yeah.
Because the only way you can build strength is you have to have repetitions. Your body has to learn a movement. So the first time you ride a bike, you can't ride a bike as fast as you can. Your muscles have to be coordinated on how to do it. And then once they're coordinated and they build a little endurance, now you can push yourself on that bike. When you push yourself to failure, that's when you maximize the gains in strength. So and it's, guys, I'm telling you, it's the same class for 1 week, not weeks or months, 1 week. So get over it. I know we need to be entertained. We have a short attention span, TikTok, all the things that we were doing. If you go to strength class on Tuesday, your body's learning the motions. You're not able to push to the level of maximizing the benefit. And the instructor can't coach as much because they're spending more time just teaching you what we're supposed to be doing. Thursday, the time you do it again, now your body's a little fatigued, but you can push yourself. You recognize the motions, you feel more comfortable, you're more coordinated, so you can push it even more. If you show up on a Saturday, that's when your big gains are going to come, because now you've recovered a little bit, and you should be pushing yourself a lot harder with the same exercises to maximize the value of increasing your strength. So if we're going to call it a strength class and not just a general healthy chicken soup good for you class, if you want to gain legitimate strength, you have to do the same motions a minimum of 3 times to be able to push yourself to failure. There's no way around it. Yeah. I wish it was more entertaining. I wish vegetables taste better. I wish we could change the way the world works and physics and the world is flat or round or whatever the hell. The bottom line is, if you want to get stronger, you have to do repetitions. Your body has to learn it. It has to understand it so you can push harder. And that's why because our classes are designed to benefit you, not to appease you. They really are. And originally, in a lot of our old members, it was so fun to show up and go, what's next?
Yeah. So
to know what's coming is kind of this downer. And it minimizes your ability to want to show up on Saturday, right, Pat? That's what I heard you say. And I get it from a psychological standpoint. But there's no other way around it. If you want to benefit, if you want to make gains, if my job is to put out a class that I know is good for you without being fun, I'd rather have good for you. And we're still as entertaining as we can be. We're still trying to be creative. But there's no doubt in the world. And anyone who disagrees with me, tell me what alley to show up, and I'll explain it, because I know for a fact I've been doing this for 30 plus years. And Adapt prides itself on the product that we put out benefits you, even if you don't like it. So suck it up and do it 3 times in a week.
And then you'll end up on the board, and you'll really...
That's the only way you're going to make gains. If you want to make gains, you got to show up. I know the world's not entertaining, it's fast-paced, but those classes are pretty badass. And the work that goes into designing them with Courtney and her team are top-notch. And the benefit, if you really push yourself. Remember, if you're down and you don't want to push yourself hard, it can't help you. But that's why we do the strength classes 3 times in the same week. Get to all 3, see how much better you do on Saturday than you did Tuesday.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And thanks for getting through it, even though it's been a long day. But we appreciate it, and I know everybody at home appreciates it as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you next week to talk about endurance. And if we're wearing the same outfits, don't worry about it. We're definitely not filming these on the same day.
See you on Saturday, Pat.